Let us consider few more things: hybridization, geometry, polarity. This is what we are discussing. This is methyl bromide and polar solvent like water, and if we heat it, or this is just a symbol of heating, if we strongly heat it in presence of polar solvent, this carbon bromine bond can get heterolytically broken. Since bromine is more electronegative, slight shifting towards bromine, earlier carbon bromine bond which is polar, in presence of polar solvent and heating, this may get heterolytically broken, and since bromine is more electronegative, the shared pair will remain with bromine. If that happens, then there will be 3 bond pairs around the carbon, and since bromine goes out with the shared pair, 1 electron of bromine and 1 of carbon, and therefore that extra electron of carbon that develops negative charge on bromine, and carbon has lost 1 electron, positive charge on carbon. Now, in this positively charged carbon, this is called as carbonium ion, or it is also called as carbocation. Empty orbital is perpendicular to the plane which contains these 3 bonds. Here the carbonium ion, since it has 3 bond pairs, it is sp2 hybridized, sp2 hybridized in a plane. This thing is necessary for our further study, that is why. And one more thing, here I have taken an example, a chloroform, and reaction of chloroform with KOH using alcohol as solvent, alcohol slightly polar. Hydrogen atom in chloroform is called as acidic hydrogen atom. Chloroform is not acidic, but hydrogen atom in chloroform, hydrogen covalently bonded to carbon in chloroform, is called as acidic hydrogen, because these 3 chlorine atoms are more electronegative than carbon. These 3 chlorine atoms pull the electron density away from carbon. Because of that, carbon will pull the electron density between carbon and hydrogen more towards itself. So, because of the minus I effect, the electron pulling effect of 3 chlorine atoms, this carbon in turn ultimately will try to compensate this lost electron density by pulling this shared pair more towards itself. Therefore, this CH bond becomes more polar, and therefore during a reaction, depending on the other reagent, this hydrogen has tendency, during a reaction, this hydrogen has tendency to go out in the form of H plus ions. That is why in such a cases where CH bond is highly polar, hydrogen is called as acidic hydrogen atom. Same was the case same is applicable to the hydrogen in ethine. As I have already explained to you in detail, in short I will tell you, this hydrogen is also called as acidic hydrogen atom, because sp hybridized carbon, the electronegativity of this sp hybridized carbon is more, and therefore this CH bond is more polar than other CH bonds in ethene and ethane, and therefore during a reaction, depending on the reagent, this hydrogen has capacity or tendency to go out in the form of H plus ions. Therefore, this hydrogen atom is also called as acidic hydrogen atom. Now let us come back to our point under consideration directly. Chloroform when reacted with KOH, KOH is basic, this OH minus ion will pull hydrogen in the form of H plus ion, and what remains behind is this heterolytic breaking. Heterolytic breaking had also taken place in this case, but this heterolytic breaking had taken in such a manner that the electron pair went away from carbon towards bromine, giving rise to positively charged carbon atom, carbonium ion. Here, because of 3 chlorine atoms and in presence of suitable reagent base KOH, hydrogen goes out in the form of H plus ion. So, this electron pair remains with carbon, giving rise to negatively charged carbon plus the hydrogen which goes out, it will form H2O, the potassium K plus ion is there. We will focus on this. This is still sp3 hybridized carbon, 3 bond pairs and 1 lone pair. sp3 hybridized carbon remains sp3 hybridized carbon because there are 4 electron pairs, but now 3 are bond pairs and 1 is lone pair. It will be distorted tetrahedral, like what we had considered in case of ammonia or in case of NH2 minus ion, and this one will be planar carbonium ion and carbanion. Why not consider a very simple example of oxygen molecule, O2 molecule. There is a double bond between 2 oxygen atoms, and my question is, what is the hybridization of oxygen in O2 molecule, or does oxygen undergo hybridization during oxygen atom? Does it undergo hybridization during O2 molecule formation? Let us see. Let us first consider that oxygen atom, when 2 oxygen atoms approach each other to form O2 molecule, by assuming that it does not undergo hybridization, let us see what happens, and then we will go ahead. This is the electronic configuration of oxygen, atomic number 8, 1s2, 2s2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, in the outermost shell, since last electron is this in 2py, outermost shell is n equal to 2. There are 2 lone pairs and 2 unpaired electrons in the outermost shell of oxygen. Valency of oxygen is 2 and 2 unpaired electrons are present, and in oxygen, as we know, there is a double bond. Therefore, one should be a sigma bond and another one should be a pi bond. So, one may feel that it is not necessary to consider the hybridization theory during O2 molecule formation. So, by assuming that hybridization does not take place, let us see what will happen if we assume and go ahead. I have written outer electronic configuration of oxygen 1 atom and another atom of oxygen. One lone pair in 2s, one lone pair in 2px, one unpaired each in 2py and 2pz. So, unpaired electron in 2py, unpaired electron in 2pz and lone pair in 2px. S is spherically symmetrical, I have not shown. Now, when same is true for another atom, 2py, one unpaired electron, 2pz, another unpaired electron, py and pz are perpendicular to each other, and px, py and pz, they are perpendicular to each other. Px is also perpendicular to both, one lobe on our side and other lobe on other side. For the sake of showing on the blackboard, I have written it in this fashion, blue colored. Px, actually they are in this form, one lobe on our side and another lobe of px on opposite side of the blackboard. So, when py will overlap, they will form a sigma bond. Then these two pz will overlap, they will form a pi bond. Okay. When these two will overlap, opposite spins, they will form a sigma bond. Simultaneously, these two p orbitals, they will overlap to form a pi bond. But at the same time, the moment py form a sigma bond and pz form a pi bond, these two will also overlap, px, and both the px have lone pair each, and therefore, there will be repulsion, and such type of overlapping is not possible. This will destabilize the molecule, and therefore, oxygen, only if we consider these two orbitals, on paper it is easy, but the moment these two orbitals overlap in a coaxial and these two in a parallel manner, we cannot avoid this overlapping px, which are already filled, and therefore, without considering hybridization, O2 molecular formation cannot be shown. Actually, in O2 molecular formation, sp2 hybridization takes place. Each oxygen atom in ground state, there are 2 lone pairs and 2 unpaired electrons. Since we know that there is a double bond between 2 oxygen atoms, one will be a pi bond. If one is a pi bond, means there is one bond formed by pp parallel overlapping. If one bond is formed by pp parallel overlapping of 2 atoms, means one p orbital, let it be 2pz, of each oxygen atom will not take part in mixing and recasting. If one p orbital, let it be 2pz, does not take part in mixing and recasting, because it take part in parallel overlapping, means what remains behind is this 1 2s and 2 2p, these 3 p orbitals, 1s and 2 p orbitals, these 3 orbitals, atomic orbitals, they mix up and give rise to 3 hybrid orbitals, and I have shown it here. 2 will contain a lone pair each, and 1 will contain unpaired electron, and this will be unhybridized 2pz. This is represented here. 2pz I have shown here, 2pz, and remaining 3 which have undergone hybridization, sp2, sp2, sp2. This sp2 will contain an unpaired electron. Remaining 2 sp2 of this oxygen atom will contain a lone pair each. Same will be true for this opposite spin 2pz, unhybridized 2pz. Out of 3 sp2, this will contain unpaired with opposite spin. These 2 sp2 will contain a lone pair. And now, when overlapping takes place between these 2 sp2 for a sigma covalent bond and pz for pi covalent bond, so one sigma bond between 2 oxygen atoms is possible by sp2 overlapping, coaxial sp2 overlapping, and one pi bond is formed by pz overlapping, and 2 lone pairs lie in remaining 2 sp2 hybrid orbitals of each oxygen atom. They will not interfere in bond formation. So, this is how we can explain that in oxygen molecule formation, oxygen atom undergoes sp2 hybridization, then and then only minimum repulsion and proper bond formation is possible, or else I explained that these electron pair containing orbitals overlapping will be in action, which is not possible in reality. So, oxygen molecule, oxygen atom undergoes sp2 hybridization, and which can explain how the lone pairs will be aligned, and this makes us how the pi bond formation is possible and how the two lone pairs do not interfere in the bond formation. That is important.